Prayer is an expression of our need for God. Think about football. What's the pass that a team throws when they're losing by a touchdown? They only have one play left. Hail Mary, right? To be clear, an unbiblical prayer. But what's the reason for naming a play after a prayer? The whole idea is you plan the whole game, but when you don't have anything left, you need a miracle, you call in Mary to see what can happen. Now, just to be clear, we don't pray to Mary, we pray to God, and the reason why we pray to God is because we're desperate. But we don't just need him in extreme situations. We're desperate for him in every single situation in our lives. There is no activity in our lives that doesn't require a prayerful attitude, a dependence on God, desperation for himself. I think about my life. I can't be the husband God desires, calls me to be, the dad God desires, calls me to be, the man, the witness, the pastor God calls me to be, apart from God's help. I can't breathe apart from God's help, and neither can you. You need God for everything good in your life. This is a massive realization that I pray God opens your eyes to, either right now or in a deeper way through his word right now. You cannot carry out your marriage, parenting, your life as a single, your job. You cannot make wise decisions. You can't love and serve. You can't be the man or woman or student that God has designed you to be, experience the life God has created you to live apart from daily divine intervention. Every moment of every day is a Hail Mary in that sense. We need God. That's why we pray. Prayer is probably the most clear, critical, central expression on a daily basis, all throughout day, of the reality that we need God. We need God's grace, strength, wisdom, sustenance, peace, joy, provision for everything we do every single day. And prayer is an expression of that. Our conviction as prayer is that we can do nothing without God. Apart from me, you can do nothing. Prayer is an expression of humility. So think about this. If we're not praying, then what are we saying? We're saying that we don't need God. This is where we realize that prayerlessness at the core is pride. Prayerlessness in our lives is evidence of pride in our lives. Prayerlessness is an attitude that says, I can do this on my own, and it's not true. We even need his help to pray. That's why our confession is prayers, and prayer is, Lord, teach me to pray. And even this, I hope, is encouraging, comforting. Listen to the words of J.C. Ryle. Fear not, because your prayer is stammering, your words feeble, your language poor. Jesus can understand you. We pray to express the depth of our need for God. Second, we pray to explore the mystery of intimacy with God. So this is where I want to be careful with the first reason to pray, to express our need, because our need is not just to get stuff from God. We've talked about this. Even here, daily bread, forgiveness, leadership, deliverance, our greatest need is still not to get stuff from God. Our greatest need is to know God. But we miss this if we're not careful. But look at how Jesus teaches here. When you pray, don't heap up empty phrases. Your Father knows what you need before you ask him. God knows what you need. Think about that. So apparently God is not up in heaven with a steno pad, like writing down your request, saying, oh man, I hadn't even thought about that. Like, thank you, that's a good one. Oh yes, so many things you're informing me. No, he already knows what you need. Now that causes many people to wonder, well, what's the point then? And as soon as you ask that question, you're on the verge of an incredible breakthrough in prayer, because you're realizing the primary goal of prayer is not to get something. The primary goal of prayer is to know someone. The heart of prayer is what happens when you're in a room alone with the Father in heaven and you realize there's intimacy to be found with him. Oh, realize this, the most important thing in most important thing in the world is not your family, not your husband, not your wife, not your kids, not your job, not your finances, not your health. The most important thing in the world is your personal relationship with God.